Some of our next boaters would kill for a day like this in Haulover, but we're definitely not going to give it to them. What would be the fun in that? Welcome back everybody to Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down in Miami, Florida. I am your host Broncos Guru, along with my boy Wavy Boats on the camera, and let's get this episode started. Our next boater shows us what it's like when you thought you were just going to take a quick trip out of Haulover. Right here you can see Haulover's fighting back pretty early on and definitely going to slow this trip down a little bit. Now the reason I say a quick trip, obviously he's got the bow cover on, but if you look to the port side of his vessel you will notice he never bothered really to fully take off the cockpit cover, which leads me to believe he thought he was just going to take a quick little trip out of Haulover to have some fun. I don't know if he was moving the boat to another location or what, but he's probably kind of regretting it now after seeing these scenes, and the amount of water he's still taking over the bow even with the cover, and this guy's probably soaked. And his ego may be a little soaked as well after this, because this round definitely goes to Haulover. Our second person to step in the ring is going to show us what it's like when you got a little easy going in Haulover. When I say easy going, I'm not talking about the conditions, but the way you handle the conditions. Of course, you know I don't like it to see people take it slow, but this guy's not taking it slow, but he's not wide open throttle either. He's found just that right position to keep this boat on plane and let the boat do the work to be able to blast through Haulover safely and easily. Of course, that's what happens when you got the professionals battling Haulover, and as you might know, this round will go to the boats. It's always nice to know your weather forecast and conditions before you go, so you can kind of be prepared like these guys right here. They obviously knew it was going to be a rough day out, probably a little possibility of rain, but I don't believe those rain jackets they're wearing are because of the possibility of rain. I believe it's because they knew they were going to get soaked trying to get out to the fishing grounds, and probably soaked trying to get in and out of Haulover Inlet. While we didn't see their departure, let's see their entrance and see if these rain jackets were deserved. So far so good. It is actually a pretty rough day in Haulover, but these guys are handling it pretty well. As you guys have heard me say before, this is one of the more difficult things to do, to come back into Haulover Inlet with a heavy following sea, and these guys kind of handle it like champs. This round goes to the boats. Just when you thought you were a champ. That's right, our next boater is going to show us what it's like when you thought you beat Haulover. As you can tell, these guys are coming out of Haulover Inlet and it looks like a pretty solid smooth run, with the exception of one thing that gives them a loss. And that is blasting through Haulover Inlet with your kids in the bow with no life jackets on. I still don't understand why anybody does this. Yes, I know, it never appears these kids were in any danger, but you never know what can happen in Haulover Inlet. Why take the risk? And this round's going to Haulover for that reason. This is going to take us into our fifth and final round, tied at 2 apiece. Who will take the win this week, Haulover or the boats? Let's find out. As many of you have heard that old adage, it's not about how you start, but how you finish, and these guys are going to prove that right here. But they've got a really good start going. This is a Sea Hunt Gamefish 30, and these are some pretty rough conditions, and they are doing it right in this boat until right about now. Haulover's giving them a little pop and has knocked something loose, and now they've got to slow down and fix it, and this is what happens when you slow down. Everybody always tells me take it easy, but this is what it looks like when you try and take Haulover easy. It's not a pretty scene, but you know what? Because they had a good start, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Who won this week? Was it the boats or Haulover? So go ahead and line it up in the comment section and let us know who you thought won. Kind of like we did last week with this video clip here, where the boats took a surprise victory, and I want to thank our featured voters for voting last week, and we'll do the same thing next week when we announce the winner of this episode that you guys have chosen. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, be sure to check out our other 2 channels. We have Wavy Boats, who gets us all this epic footage of Haulover Inlet, and my channel Broncos Guru, where we do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on that subscribe button.